In March, the pandemic turned everything upside down overnight. We had to pivot in a matter of days. Everything went online and we all had to adapt. It was a really steep learning curve, figuring out the technology, figuring out how to stay connected and to finish up the semester. All of my classes have been virtual since March of 2020. And that has been a variety of live classes and then classes that are fully recorded. Many of my colleagues have been able to maintain a small amount of face-to-face contact with their students following all of the protocols of the college. And that would be in instances where you just can't do stuff online. So there's a blend here at the college, but on the whole, regardless of whether it is modified face-to-face interactions or making things work in a virtual context, we're really focusing on the positive opportunities that come from this particular scenario. I have the opportunity to bring guest speakers in to my virtual classes from pretty much anywhere in the world, as long as the time change works. So I've brought people in from Washington State. I have students that beam in from Mexico City and can share their view of the world and how it relates to class in real time. That's not something I can ever do in a face-to-face interaction on campus. Teaching virtually is very different from what I'm used to. I will be honest, it's been a lot of work, and I am missing seeing students face-to-face in the classroom, but I'm really proud of how we've pivoted. It has required some creativity. It's required really thinking about what the most important parts of teaching and learning are about. So figuring out how to build relationships with students virtually, and figuring out how to keep people engaged and interested, and how to have fun learning in this virtual format. The change for students has been significant, and I think that it's been challenging, but overall I think it's actually been really positive for many students. The ability to take a class that doesn't have a live component means that they can fit better into the rest of their life, whether they have a family or family commitments, but also whether they have a job. Being able to customize when they are doing their schooling, I think is really positive. Another aspect of the virtual classroom that I have found fascinating is that it seems to create new opportunities for student engagement. So very few students are raising their virtual hands and using the audio aspect of online virtual classes, but almost all of my students seem to be connecting with one another and with the material using the chat function. So I get the sense that they're students that otherwise would be quiet in class because they're shy, they're unwilling to ask a question or provide their perspective. And all of a sudden there is this new opportunity to engage with the class. And so putting a question or putting a comment in chat is engaging the student, but also contributing to the learning environment, which I personally have really enjoyed. It's really fun to get to share the teaching because we're all teachers and we're all learners and we have a lot to offer.